Students, how are you? Hope you are fine. As you know, we are reading a lesson, the last lesson of 12th class English, Flamingo. Today we will be discussing from last para, page 3. Before we start the last para of page 3, let us recapitulate last day's previous day's lesson. Dear students, Franz was a little student. He was a student, and he started on that day very late. He was in great fear of scolding. His teacher, Mr. Hamill, had said that he would ask questions on participles. Little friend did not know even one word about them. For a moment he thought of running away and spending the whole day out of doors. It was bright and lovely day. The birds were chirping. The Prussian soldiers were drilling in the open field. He watched them seemed far more attracting than the rule of participles. It seemed to him that this scene is more attractive than the rules for participles. However, this little Franz hurried off to school. When he passed the town hall, there was a crowd in front of the bulletin board. For the last 2 years, all bad news had come from there. Little Franz did not stop there, but he thought to himself, what can be the matter now? Then this little boy, Franz, hurried by fast as he could. The village blacksmith, who was reading the bulletin, called after him, saying, "Don't go so fast, boy. You will get your school in plenty. You will get to your school in plenty of time." Franz thought that the blacksmith was making fun of him. When he reached the school, he was all out of breath. Usually, there was a great Usually, when the school began, there was a great bustle. All sorts of sounds could be heard out in the street, the opening and closing of desks, lesson repeated in unison, and the teacher's rule rapping on the table. But now it was all still. This little Franz had thought that he would go to his desk without being seen, but that day everything was quiet as Sunday morning. Through the window he saw his classmates. They were already in their places. The teacher, Mr. Hamill, was walking up down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm. Little Franz had to open the door to go in before everybody. Now let us start this last para. I jumped over the bench. I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. ये लिटिल फ्रेंड्स कहता है कि मैंने जंप लगाया अपने बेंच के ऊपर से एंड मैं डेस्क पे बैठ गया. Now till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat. Not till then, आज तक. Then, when I had got a little of my fright, did I see, यानी जब से मैंने not till then, when I had got a little over by fright, इस fright से मैं थोड़ा इस fearful system से मैं जब आया बाहर निकल आया, did I see our teacher had on his beautiful green coat. मैंने इस अपने टीचर पे कभी ब्यूटीफुल कोट पहनते नहीं देखा. his thrilled shirt that means his shirt which was having the strips of fabrics, जिसको हम कहते हैं हाइफादार जो शर्ट लगाई उसने पे जो पहनी हुई थी उसने एंड द लिटिल ब्लैक सिल्क कैप, उसकी जो कैप थी वो दैट वाज ब्लैक एंड इट वाज मेड ऑफ सिल्क, all embroidered, that was designed with a needle and thread. That means that was decorated, designed on fabric with a needle and thread, जिसको हम कढ़ाई कहते हैं. That was all embroidered. This black silk cap was all embroidered. That he never wore except on inspections and prize days. वो कभी नहीं पहनता था इस कैप को जब तक न कोई इंस्पेक्शन होता था, कोई प्राइज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होती थी, तो उस वक्त ये कैप को इस्तेमाल करता था. बिसाइड्स द होल स्कूल सीम टू बी स्ट्रेंज एंड सोलमन. और स्कूल जो पूरा था इस इट सीम टू बी, इट वाज सो स्ट्रेंज, it was looking strange, and it was solemn. It seemed that the school today, the all the things in the school which are happening in the school, they are serious, they are sacred. वो तो मुतबरक हैं, उसको लगा कि आज सब कुछ यहाँ ठीक हो रहा है. They are serious, and he took these all these activities serious. It seemed to him that these all activities are serious. But the little thing that surprised me most was to see on the black benches that they were always empty, the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. लेकिन एक सरप्राइजिंग चीज़ था वहाँ पे कि ये जो that was most surprised to me कि मैंने बैक बेंचर्स जो देखे जो वो हर हमेशा एम्प्टी रहते थे. मैंने विलेजर्स को देखा, दे वर सिटिंग क्वाइटली लाइक आवर सेल्फ. जिस तरह हम क्लास में बैठते हैं स्टूडेंट्स, इसी तरह वो भी क्लास में बैठे हुए थे. ओल्ड हाउसर विद हिज थ्री कॉर्नर्ड हैट, द फॉर्मर मेयर, द फॉर्मर पोस्ट मास्टर एंड द several others besides, everybody looked sad. तो कौन कौन बैठा था वहाँ पे, कौन उस लास्ट बेंच में कौन कौन बैठे थे जो हर हमेशा एम्बेटी रहता था, और वहाँ पे कौन कौन से लोग बैठे थे. द विलेज पीपल सिटिंग क्वाइटली लाइक आवर सेल्व्स. विलेज पीपल बैठे थे जिस तरह हम खामोशी से बैठते हैं क्लास में, इस तरह वो भी बैठे. ओल्ड हाउसर, दैट मीन्स ये सरनेम है, वो भी विद हिज थ्री कॉर्नर्ड हैट. उसके ये जो उसकी हैट जो थी, दैट वाज थ्री कॉर्न, ही वाज वेयरिंग ए थ्री कॉर्नर्ड हैट. द फॉर्मर मायर, और वहाँ पे जो मायर सिटी का जो हेड होता है वो भी वहाँ पे बैठा था. एंड द फॉर्मर पोस्ट मास्टर जो पहले था वो भी वहाँ पे बैठा था. एंड several अदर्स, वहाँ बहुत सारे लोग बैठे थे. बिसाइड्स एवरीबडी लुक्ड सैड, हर एक मायूस लगता था. एंड द हाउसर हैड ब्रॉट एन ओल्ड प्राइमर थम्बड एट द एजेस. हाउसर ने एक किताब लाई थी प्राइमर, दैट इज़ बेसिक रीडर ऑफ फनी ऑफ एनी लैंग्वेज. जो एक किसी लैंग्वेज की बेसिक बुक होती है, दैट मीन्स शी हैड ब्रॉट ए बेसिक बुक ऑफ लैंग्वेज. एंड thumb it at the edges which was torn out, which was damaged at the edges. उसके जो edges थे वो torn हो गए थे, वो फटे हुए थे. एंड ही हेल्ड इट ओपन ऑन द नीज. उसने वो ओपन रखी थी अपने नीज पे. विद हिज ग्रेट स्पेक्टिकल्स, और उन पे उसकी ऐनक थी. विद ग्रेट स्पेक्टिकल्स लाइंग अक्रॉस द पेजेस, that was lying across the pages. The spectacles of this old this former Meyer, they were lying across the pages of this basic book, that is the primer book. While I was wondering about it, while I was wondering about it all, Mr. Hamill mounted his chair. I was wondering about it all. मैं इधर उधर देख ही रहा था तो कि फिर क्या हुआ. Mr. Hamill mounted his chair. He raised over his chair, and in the same grave, और उसी इंटेंसिटी में, and with gentle tone, और उसकी आवाज़ बड़ी अट्रैक्टिव थी, सुरीली थी. When he had used to me, said, my children, this is which he had used to me, my children, मेरे बच्चों, दिस इज़ द लास्ट लेसन आई शैल गिव यू. ये लास्ट लेसन है जो मैं आपको पढ़ाने जा रहा हूँ. द ऑर्डर हैज़ कम फ्रॉम बर्लिन टू टीच ओनली जर्मन. क्योंकि बर्लिन से ऑर्डर आया है. द ऑर्डर हैज़ कम फ्रॉम द जर्मन दैट नाउ henceforth French language will not be taught in the classes, and this is actually German will be the taught in the German language will taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow, the new teacher will come tomorrow, he will join tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. So this is the last lesson for you. I want you to be very attentive. So मैं आपसे ये कहता हूँ कि आप attentive रहिए और क्लास में इस क्लास मेरी बात सुनिए. What a thunder cap these words were to me. Now this Franz, who was a lazy student, who was not interested at all in his this English classes, in these English classes, and he was disliking his teacher. Now these words, now he was attentive. Now it seems to the writer then now these words are now thundercap. These are actually the shocking words for him. Oh, rats! That means, oh, how much unfortunate we are. Unfortunate. He say, oh, rats. That means how unfortunate we are. That was that they had put up the town hall. That's why they had. This was the news which has been put on the town hall, on the notice board of the town hall. Now my last French lesson. Why I hardly knew how to write. My last lesson है फ्रेंच की. I hardly knew how to write. मैं नहीं जानता था कि I hardly knew how to write. मैं hardly जानता था कि कैसे पढूं. I should never learn anymore. I must stop there then. और मुझे यहाँ पे stop करना चाहिए. Then, oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons. कितना sorry है, कितना वो अपने आप को महसूस कर रहा है कि मैं कितना बदनसीब था, कितनी 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 दफ़ा उसने सॉरी किया कि मैं इस लेसन्स को लर्निंग नहीं उनकी लेसन्स को मैं लर्न नहीं कर रहा था. फॉर सीकिंग बर्ड्स एजेस और गोइंग स्लाइड्स ऑन द सर. मैं बर्ड्स को पकड़ रहा था, एग्स को ढूंढ रहा था, और गोइंग स्लाइड्स, और आई वॉज गोइंग फॉर रोलिंग ऑन द सर. माई बुक्स दैट हैड सीम्ड सच ए न्यू सेंस. और जो वो किताबें जो मुझे विच सीम टू मी दे आर न्यू सेंस. दैट मीन्स दे आर इनकन्वीनियंस टू मी a while ago, so heavy to carry. मुझे ये बड़ी भारी लगते थे अपनी किताबें. माई ग्रामर, मेरा ग्रामर मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता था. एंड माई हिस्ट्री ऑफ सेंट्स, और मेरी जो हिस्ट्री है जो होली लोग हैं उनके मतलब वायर ओल्ड फ्रेंड्स. नाउ दैट आई कुड गिव अप. मुझे ये I should stop these nonsense things. I should now try to learn the things. I should now try to learn my languages. And Mr. Hamel too, the idea that he was going away. Mr. Hamel, now he is going away, that I should never see him again. मैं अपने उस्ताद को अब दोबारा नहीं देखूँगा. made me forget all about his ruler. इसने मुझे इस पे ये इसरार किया समझने पे कि अब मुझे उसका कुछ नहीं याद रखना है. एंड हाउ क्रैंकी ही वाज, हाउ अनवेल ही वाज. मुझे ये याद रखना है कि वो कैसे पढ़ाता था. दिस मुझे याद रखना है कि ही वाज टीचिंग अस एंड ही वाज डूइंग एवरीथिंग फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ आवर लाइफ. थैंक यू वेरी मच. आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.